A former school board member convicted of fraud is sentenced today. Good evening. This is CTV News. I'm Patricia Villa.
And I'm Karen Adams. We'll have that story in just a moment. But first, the latest in a fire that left one person injured. An Oxon Hill man is in critical condition tonight with burns following a fire at his home. It took firefighters less than 5 minutes to put out the blaze at the elderly man's Leverett Street home, but it burned long enough to leave the homeowner critically injured.
Crews arrived on scene with smoke showing. They forced entry, found a small fire in the first floor, extinguished the fire. At the same time, one adult male was removed and was taken to area trauma center, and he is in critical condition at this time.
The cause of the fire remains under investigation.
A former Prince George's Board of Education member convicted in a school lunch scheme is back in court. 34-year-old Lynette Mundy was found guilty back in February of felony theft, filing a false public assistance application, welfare fraud, and related charges. Today, she learned her sentence in the case. Rachelle Metsker is in Upper Marlboro with more.
Former Prince George's School Board member Lynette Mundy maintains she never meant to defraud or steal from the government or the county public school system. She was convicted on charges that she cheated the federal school lunch program. Actions prosecutors say almost jeopardized the program, which helps needy children, and broke the public trust. But the defense maintains that Mundy is a hardworking single mother who led an impressive career up until this first-time conviction, which he says has destroyed his client's life. Today, the judge gave her probation, community service, and restitution, but also reprimanded her for what he called disturbing behavior. Prosecutors say Lynette Mundy made close to $95,000 a year working in the Government Accountability Office and serving on the Prince George's Board of Education when she lied about her income so her child could receive free school meals, more than $1,700 worth between 2011 and 2015. Prosecutors say her dual roles and the fact that the money was meant for poor students makes this case particularly offensive.
With respect to the GAO position, I mean, that job is to deal with fraud and abuse among the federal government. So you have a particular importance in representing the country in that role. With Ms. Mundy, as a school board member, she also had a particular interest in representing the people of the county and the school system.
I understand the pressure the prosecutor has to send a message to someone who has a position of authority and trust. However, at the end of the day, it's still a first-time theft conviction, and that's what I wanted the court to remember.
During the hearing, the judge told Mundy what he remembers is her prolonged emotional outburst upon hearing the verdict, guilty of felony theft and related charges, calling her conduct appalling.
That may be the only time that I've ever seen that type of emotion after a verdict last that long. It was incredible.
The judge said watching her berate the jury was, quote, horrific and shocking. Today, Mundy apologized to the court for what she says was a raw reaction to supreme trauma.
She's real, she's genuine, she was hurt, and she expressed it. Now, obviously, we want her to express it in a better, more constructive way.
Her sentence, 10 years all suspended, with 3 years supervised probation, 100 hours of community service, and $346 in restitution, the remainder of the money she owes.
We respect the judge's decision, and we're happy with the conviction, the result. We feel that the message has been sent to the defendant, and she's been held accountable. Now, Mundy did not want to speak on camera, but she tells reporters that she plans to appeal her conviction. In the meantime, she is still currently employed with the GAO, though she's on paid administrative leave and going through the termination process. From Upper Marlboro, I'm Rachelle Metsker, CTV News.
A 2014 audit of the federal school lunch program uncovered the fraud. In total, 6 GAO employees in the county applied for and received nearly $11,500 in reduced or free meals for their kids. Well, no jail time for a former University of Maryland student convicted of involuntary manslaughter. It was an emotional day in the courtroom as Judge Albert Northrup sentenced Azaraf Baipara to 3 years probation for the death of fellow student Jake Godfrey. Back in 2013, authorities say the defendant sucker punched Godfrey outside of the Cornerstone Bar in College Park. causing serious head injuries. Bypara pleaded guilty to second-degree assault charges. However, the victim died.
Appropriate charge. Certainly at this point, the facts of the case had changed. Obviously, Mr. Byparva had already pled guilty to a second-degree assault prior to Mr. Godfrey's death, and he had served 10 days in jail for that assault. Once Mr. Godfrey died, obviously, like I said, the fact pattern changed. We now had a death. We felt that it met all the grounds for manslaughter, from a legal perspective. So we moved forward with that, and then obviously Mr. Byparva agreed to plead guilty to manslaughter, and then, be subject to potential jail time at sentencing.
And Godfrey died in November 2014.
It's Zika Awareness Week in Maryland, and officials in Montgomery County are urging residents to protect themselves against the virus. You're asked to get rid of any breeding spots for mosquitoes that are known to carry the disease. It means eliminating standing water in and around your home, including buckets, bird baths, and gutters. Also, cover up and use an insect repellent when outdoors.
I also want to mention for pregnant women, it is safe for pregnant and nursing women to use insect repellent. That's fine, so they should use it.
The county is launching a public education and awareness campaign that includes a website.
We're not trying to scare anyone, but we do want people to be aware, and we do want to educate people. We're trying to make certain that we are doing all that we can to prevent the spread of the virus and other mosquito-borne diseases.
The state also has Zika prevention efforts underway. Changes at Metro. 3 board members have been replaced in a move orchestrated by Transportation Secretary Anthony Fox. The feds have become increasingly impatient with delays in the agency's ability to create a safety oversight office. According to the Washington Post, Fox told Metro, quote, "No more excuses." The switch comes as the transit agency announces a 4-day service slowdown along portions of the Red Line so crews can perform maintenance. The new board members take office, that is, June 1st. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Karen Adams.
And I'm Patricia Malone.